So if you had the army there at the border, I suppose that would be not just a practical support, but a very visible signal. It would almost feel like it was a war, that you were manning yourself for an invasion.
Well, I mean, you know, the use of the word invasion is perhaps a little bit strong. I mean, look, what we've got to understand is there are large numbers of people coming across the Mediterranean, landing in Greece, landing in Italy and being told they can stay in Europe. That is the source of this problem. And ultimately, I think the EU needs to rethink its strategy, because just how many hundreds of thousands of people can Europe accept? It's, you know, frankly, if we look at this very seriously, when Islamic states say they will use the migration across the Mediterranean to flood Europe with their own jihadists, boy, we've got a real problem here.
With regards to the EU, we know the referendum is going to happen at some point. How will us, or Britain leaving the EU, help this situation? Because it seems that the most important thing is that there's cross-European talks on how to deal with this problem, because it's not just hitting the border at Calais and coming to Dover, but, like, as you say, it's coming into Italy and it's coming in...
No, it is.
So surely cooperation across the European Union is the way forward.
One of the things the French are now talking about is potentially granting asylum to thousands of these people. If they're granted asylum and given French passports, they can then legally all come to Britain. And this really is the point. The argument I'm making is this. If you look at your British passport, the first two words on it are European Union. So it's not us that decides who can come to Britain, it's any other European government. And I do think that right at the heart of this referendum campaign is the issue of, can we control our borders, can we police our borders, can we decide who comes to Britain or not? And if you look at the, forget Westminster and what's said there, look at public opinion, this is the biggest concern to British people right now.
Very difficult for people living in Kent as well, as you do. I mean, maybe if you live in other parts of the country, you don't realise it really impacts on life. Some have been saying to me that they don't feel they can leave their houses sometimes because the traffic is so bad.
Yeah,
blocked up.
We've seen this on the news for the last 5 or 6 days. The reality is this has now been going on for months. It isn't just the migrant crisis, it's also the fact that the French ferry workers in Calais have been on strike repeatedly. And my feeling is that strategically we've now put all our eggs in one basket. All the freight and all the traffic goes on the Dover-Calais route. And I think there's a really big argument for saying, let's look at Ramsgate, let's look at Folkestone, let's try and dilute this problem a bit.
Constantly see pictures...
It's boring.
Do you find that?
It's boring.
Do you understand our fascination with it, though, Helen?
No,
because
I don't.
You do look great. You look fantastic.
No, I don't understand your fascination with it, and I don't think you have a fascination with it.
Absolutely.
I think you're just saying what your editor told you to say.
No.